Hi, this is Krista from KBN NYC. Today I met up with 4 New York dating bloggers and we talked about everything from online dating, relationships, sex, and even broken hearts. And here's what they had to say. Okay, so Ross, we'd love to you've got a very interesting story about, a guy who was online dating for years, trying to find the right girl, a lot of ups and downs, obstacles, and now you're 5 weeks from getting married.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how that came about, how you met, how did you know?
I had written to her online in 2006, and she wrote back, I wrote back, and then she fell off the planet. She canceled her membership, whatever. She was no longer on the dating site. Of course, I was a little puzzled, but this is also not the first time something like this had happened. A year later, I received an email from her saying, "I'm sorry, this might seem trite, but I think I know you from somewhere." I checked through all my old emails and it, sure enough, yeah. So I wrote her back and said, "Hey, actually we have corresponded before and you fell off the planet." She immediately IMs me and she just said, "You know what, I'm tired of sitting on the couch. I sit on my ass all day working. What's your number?" Gave her my number.
Wow.
She called me 5 minutes. She called me like 5 minutes later. We ended up speaking for about a half an hour, 40 minutes, and I then asked her out for a date later that week. One of the things and one of the reasons I know that we work so well and why she's the one for me is she's someone who sees the best in me, doesn't push me, but supports me instead. And that was something I had never experienced before. And now all of a sudden, I never would have started my business without her. I have gotten a lot of actually great ideas from her.
She's become like this catalyst for...
She has,
like
but
it's a partnership.
Exactly, but every step of the way, it's not about what she wants. It's about her realizing what my dreams are, my hopes are, and being there as a partner, both in good and bad. And I mean, if that's not what a relationship, if that's not what a future is together, I don't know what is.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
There was, I met with a woman who's actually a sexologist, and she's been married a couple of years, met her husband online, same story, number of years online dating, always like iffy, off relationships. And there's a Yiddish word, I don't know, you can maybe help me with it, that means anxiety, ajna, which means like that feeling of anxiety. And she talked about meeting her husband, and she was like, for the first time, there was none of that. There was none of that, like, it was just, yeah, all right, let's do a second date. Let's do a third date. It just, she was like, it just flowed without all that anxiety that had shaped her other relationships and her other sort of dating experiences. And that, I think, is different to that sense where it's almost going back to, a lot of the things that all of you guys talk about in your blogs and on your sites, that there's always the sense that something's not right, or the sense that you're losing something of yourself, or you're something that just doesn't sit well with you. Right. I think that's different to a sense of almost like being kept on your toes.
Right. This
is somebody I really like.
Are you trying to move towards something or trying to avoid?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's two different things.
I gotta agree with Ross here. A quality that I find irresistible in a woman is when she can take me as who I am and say, "You do all this good, but couldn't you do that a little better?" I'm like,
maybe she doesn't say that.
Yeah.
You feel that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that
the
gentle
woman
kind
that
of-
can make me a
Yeah.
better man is hard to resist.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like when someone says someone challenges you, you're like, man, forget that. I get challenged every single day by every person I
Right.
meet. Yeah, but what you're saying is, challenge me in as much as make me want to be better.
Right.
Make me want to be
Right.
more outstanding, be my best self.
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks to these 4 guys for sharing their stories. I had a great time today and understand the penis perspective just a little bit better. So ladies, take your neighborhood guy for a drink and see what you can learn.